Welcome to the Career Changers Podcast, the podcast that bridges the gap between your passion for nursing and your dream job with Mainline Health. Whether you're a seasoned nurse looking for that perfect role or a new nurse eager to embark on your professional journey, our show is your compass in the world of nursing careers at Mainline Health. We will guide you through job opportunities, insider insights, and inspiring stories that will empower you to land the job of your dreams. Join us as we explore diverse nursing avenues and help you find your path. Get ready to make the Career Changers leap. Hello, welcome to the Mainline Health Career Changers podcast. My name is Connie Samulewicz, Senior Talent Acquisition Partner with Mainline Health. Today we're going to talk all about nursing and how Mainline Health is celebrating Nurses Week. My guest today has been a nurse for over 40 years. She's been a critical care nurse, nurse manager, and currently a director of nursing at Bryn Mawr Hospital. Please welcome Mary Lance Smith. Hi, Mary. How are you doing today?
Good, Connie. How are you?
Good. So I know I just gave a brief intro to you, but I'm sure you are going to tell me even more today about your career path. Before we dive in to talk about how we celebrate our nurses, can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to become a nurse and a little bit more about your career path?
Sure. Thanks, Connie. So yes, I actually have been a nurse for 41 years, believe it or not. And I, like so many other nurses out there, really believe that I was called to be a nurse. There was no one else in my family that was a nurse, but I did see my grandmothers and my mother taking care of other people. So probably informally they were nurses, but I have always felt called to be a nurse, and primarily in critical care. I started out my career and have worked at other hospitals, primarily working in ICU. And then for 24 years, I was the nurse manager of an ICU and a surgical intensive care unit. I've worked in CT nursing in my career, so really have done a lot of ICU stuff. But as the nurse manager of a very busy ICU, we really embraced working during the pandemic, and now am over at Bryn Mawr Hospital as the director of nursing.
Wow, what a career. And still going. So as you know, Bryn Mawr has a reputation for excellence. How do you feel that the nurses contribute to this reputation, and what sets them apart from other health systems and nursing staffs?
I think the shared governance model that is at Bryn Mawr Hospital as well as at Mainline Health is really an excellent place to start for having nurses' voice really be heard and excellence in patient care. The nurses at Bryn Mawr Hospital really take pride in the care that they deliver and in being the best. And so I think that's really what sets them apart from other organizations.
So true. Innovation plays such a crucial role in today's healthcare. Can you highlight any innovation practices or technologies that Mainline Health or Bryn Mawr Hospital is using in the nursing department?
Sure. We are fortunate enough to use a lot of technology. Our fundamental system for patient care documentation is in the Epic system. So the nurses document all the time in the computer. And for some people like myself who started out our careers a long time ago, we actually did it in paper. And across the country, I think there are still some organizations that are using paper. But here at Mainline Health, we document everything in the Epic system. And then there is the AI technology that's available that is really utilizing what's called a deterioration index, which is gathering data on our patients to see what's going on and to really give a numerical value that indicates whether that patient may have an unexpected event if we don't intervene. And so something negative could happen to the patient related to that. So we have this deterioration index technology. We also have what's called Virtual Buddy, which is for those of you out there that work in hospitals, you know that we use a lot of sitters, one-to-one sitters for different things. This virtual option allows us to interact with the patient. A virtual buddy actually sits at a centralized location and is able to visually see the patient as well as to talk to them. So we can use that technology instead of possibly putting what we would call a sitter in the room. And next week, we are going to start with airstrip technology for those that work in telemetries or critical care environments. We have long been sort of getting strips and having them mounted onto a piece of paper, and those strips sometimes get lost, and we're now going to have the technology available to us to be able to do that electronically into the computer. We're able to look at their history, pull out the strip, and to identify that strip via the computer. And so no more taping and cutting of the EKG for them strips. So I think that's really exciting for us. And there's probably other things that I'm not thinking of in this moment, but those are some of the highlights.
It's amazing all the technology and innovation is brought to nursing. And it sounds like Mainline Health is on the right path with that.
Yes, they are.
Nursing, as you know, more than anybody, nursing is such a demanding profession. How does Bryn Mawr Hospital and Mainline Health support their nurses, through those demanding times, being a floor nurse or being a leader in nursing?
Yeah, I think Mainline Health and Bryn Mawr Hospital certainly does an excellent job in that. We do have a healthy work council that exists across the system, and the leads for that team really do a lot. We have at each of our hospitals, including Bryn Mawr Hospital, we have what's called an oasis room, which is a room that if staff need to get away from the hustle and bustle of their busy day to just kind of relax, they can go to this room, and there are, what do you call it, chairs there, massage chairs for people to sit into so that they can really work out some of the tension. And there's other things in those spaces that people can do yoga and do other things. We also have we're lucky enough to have what we call CERT, which is a critical incidents response team, so that if there is an event that occurs that is really concerning to the staff, we can call this team of individuals to come to talk to the staff in real time to talk about what that experience may be like. So example, if a patient comes in, maybe a young, like a baby comes into the ER and dies of a crib death, we may call this team to come in to talk to the staff. Or if a young person may die in the ICU, the same thing. Or it could be somebody that's older. It doesn't really matter. It's when the team has been affected by one of these events that has really left them feeling like they need some additional support. And then we're lucky enough to have our employee assistance program then follow up with those individuals afterwards to make sure that they're doing okay, and or to provide or offer them further treatment in dealing with the emotionally challenging situation. As far as physical, it is a physical job, and we do have ceiling lifts in the rooms in our pavilion, as well as portable lifts to help with getting patients out of bed. So for those of us that have worked in healthcare a long time, we don't have to lift them out of the bed into the chair. We can actually use that to help them. I am circling back to the healthy work environment. Sorry to be all over the place, but we also have some caring carts, and that is a team of individuals from the Healthy Work Council go around, and they have lavender, orange, peppermint, things for people to kind of be able to use as, aromatherapy. They sometimes give hand massages. Sometimes they offer some little candy treats, but they're there as a listening ear for anybody that might want to have a conversation with them as well. So lots going on here at Mainline Health, and in particular, Bryn Mawr Hospital.
Okay. So in recent years, there's been an increased emphasis on interdisciplinary collaboration in the healthcare field. How does the nursing department at Bryn Mawr Hospital collaborate with other healthcare professionals to provide a holistic patient care?
Yes, great question, Connie. And I think it's really important for the patients to have this interdisciplinary collaboration in order for them to have the best outcomes. We have each day care coordination rounds. They are called different things, but in essence, we call them we have rounds that we have every day, which is interdisciplinary, where we have one of the doctors or the nurse practitioner or PA. There is somebody usually from physical therapy. There's somebody from case management. In the ICUs, there may be somebody from respiratory, all there to review the patients that are on the unit each and every day to discuss. Really, discharge starts at admission, so to really discuss the patient's discharge plan. And so we really work closely with those individuals to make sure that the patient has the best experience. We also have a palliative care team for those individuals that are facing chronic illnesses. And that team is really strong here at Bryn Mawr, and they are helpful in having those crucial conversations or those difficult conversations with patients and families as they embark on the next journey in their in their hospitalization.
Wow. That's amazing that the hospital offers that many solutions and options for nursing today.
Mhm.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion is an important consideration in healthcare settings today. How does Bryn Mawr Hospital promote diversity?
Yes, good question, Connie. I think that diversity, respect, and inclusion are just really fundamentals. First of all, it's part of our strategic plan at Mainline Health and Bryn Mawr Hospital, and to really be respectful of individuals regardless of their backgrounds. And we do many things. We try to hire staff that are more diverse, that it's important for us to ensure that we are being respectful. It's really, I read recently about people really feeling like they're included, right? So it's really
Mhm.
important for people to feel included in a unit. They feel better if they work with people that they feel that they are closer to. We used to say had a best friend at work, but really feeling part of the group. And so it's important for us when we have celebrations to make sure that we're respectful of everybody's backgrounds, to make sure that those celebrations are respectful of all members of the team, not just one specific member of the team. And so there's a lot of work done around that. And then here on this campus, we do some gender surgery. And I think it's really important for us to be mindful of individuals that are walking that journey, to make sure that we maintain a level of respect, use the proper pronouns, and really make sure that we are really respectful of those individuals.
Thank you. So I want to turn a little bit over to and talk a little bit about professional development. And I know you over the years, and you were always a manager that knew your staff well. You always sat down with your staff and always used to ask, what is your goal? So you used to be able to tell me, you know, each of your staff members and what their professional goal was. So I know it was very important to you. But looking back at your career, and seeing how that has made a difference to the nurses you mentored over the years, how do you see that today as a director? Can you talk a little bit about professional development and what that looks like at Bryn Mawr Hospital?
Yes, I think it's important for us to be talking with the staff about what they want to do next. When I first started out in nursing, sort of end game would be, hey, I want to go work in labor and delivery, or I want to work in the ICU, or I want to work in a pediatric unit. And so people sort of walked a path that was very traditional, of starting on a med surg unit and passing and then really ending there, right? Like staying in the unit for a long time. But today's nurses are really lucky enough to have lots of opportunities. So today's nurses that are entering the field really have so many opportunities that they want to really make sure that they are getting on the right path to get to where they want to be. And sometimes that may look different than it did, say, for me when I had first started out in my career. And that's okay. I think it's an exciting time in healthcare, and it's an exciting time for nursing to be able to do these things. And so I think it's important for the nurses really to be able to, we have a clinical ladder program here at Bryn Mawr Hospital and at Mainline Health, in which nurses can really advance at the clinical bedside
Hmm.
until they're ready to make that next step. And a lot of the nurses today are coming in and say they want my job. And I say, that's great. Like, we need a lot of great nurse leaders. So I think it's important for the professional development of our staff to be able to seek out those opportunities. We have lunch and learns. We have the opportunity to have in-services on the units. And we have a nursing excellence fund that really supports nurses going to conferences. And I think it's really, when you go to a conference, oftentimes, I was just at the Pathway Conference out in Chicago, and, it makes you feel really good to know that at Mainline Health and at Bryn Mawr Hospital, we're doing all these really great things. Sometimes in the day-to-day, you're often thinking, oh, we're not that great, but we really are. When you hear other hospitals and what they're doing, Bryn Mawr Hospital and Mainline Health are well ahead of a lot of the other hospitals, not just in our region, but across the country, in some of the initiatives that are going on.
Absolutely. I think it's fair to say that Mainline Health definitely invest in their patients, but also in their staff. So that's wonderful. So the last question for you, I know you are busy, but tell us what's going on around Mainline Health for Nurses Week as we celebrate Nurses Week.
Yes, there is a lot going on at Mainline Health. We actually have a calendar of things that are going on, and we at Bryn Mawr Hospital actually have a birdhouse contest that's going on. So there is a lot of people that are really creative around their birdhouses, and it's really a lot of fun to see people compete in that manner. We also are doing some blessing of the hands. So we have our people going around blessing the hands of those that are giving care. So they're going to be floating through the units. We do have a pop-up Oasis renewal room project going on one day this week, and I think one day next week. And we're going to have chair massages that are available to the staff. We're having a Nurses Week brunch this week. We're having snack deliveries, and what else are we having here? I'm just looking on my form here, but it looks like it will conclude with Mr. Softy coming, and that for everyone is such a great time to go out and have a little bit of ice cream. And then another thing that's going on, just for those that may be listening, is there's some discounts at some local places to get uniforms for a 20% discount at Sloan's Uniform, and Closed Quarters has a 20% discount plus 10% additional discount for Mainline Health people. So I would say that if you're listening to this podcast during Nurses Week, you should run out and get some new uniforms.
There you go. Awesome. That is awesome information, Mary. Thank you so much for sharing. That's all we have time for today. Tune in next time to Mainline Health Career Changers podcast. Mary, thanks again for joining me. I really do appreciate your time and certainly all your information.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you, everybody.
You have been listening to the Career Changers podcast. Moderators include Nicolette Viscani, Abigail Metzler, Tracy Peterson, Cheryl Moldy, and Connie Samulewicz. Music is by CapCut. Our executive producer is Christina Archer. Our technical support is Paul Ford. Thank you for listening. We hope you join us for our next Career Changers podcast.